I spent 100 days in a cave-only world. No sky, no sunlight, and a steep drop at every turn. Mobs are relentless down here, where the darkness allows them constant rain. But then I found it, a lost underground village barely hanging on in the cavernous terrain. Across these 100 days, I'm transforming this forgotten cave village into a cozy underground haven. New custom villager workstations, cozy overgrown farms, and I learn how to build a villager breeder to repopulate our new thriving community. Let's get into it. Right gamers, here we are, day 0 in our underground cave-only world. We need to crack on with getting our starter tools as quickly as possible because mobs are on 24/7 active duty down here. I spent my first few days getting myself set up with full diamond armor and tools as the shiny turquoise rocks are in abundance down here. The other thing in abundance in the caves is mobs, and we were fighting for our life on a regular basis. Food was my biggest struggle, and I've been surviving purely off of glowberries and rotten flesh, so I built a tiny farm and a fishing rod and set about stockpiling some food. 5 days without sleep and the insomnia demon started attacking. It's so easy to lose track of time when you can't see the sun or the stars. We made our first bed out of string we found in a mine shaft and got our first night's sleep. Whilst travelling through the caves and underground forests, we'd heard whispers of a lost village, buried and forgotten somewhere in the caves. I had a new mission, to locate the village and restore it into a cozy haven for the lost villagers. We packed up everything we'd scavenged so far and headed out to find it. We sailed across the underground ocean and suddenly it came into view on our map. We climbed out of our boat and there it was, the lost village. We've made it down into the village. There's bees, which is really good, but there is lots of mobs, so we're just going to take out this creeper so he doesn't destroy anything. There are quite a few villagers here. I can see at least 7 and there might be a baby in that as well, so that's good. We'll start looting out some of their buildings. Oh, I do apologise, sir, you are asleep. That does mean I should be sleeping as well, so I'm going to pop my bed down. They do have at least 1 iron golem, which is good. Not many more buildings have any chests in. Ooh, they have mobs here. They've got 2 cows and 2 pigs. No way. They do have a lot of zombies though. I'm a bit concerned that some of the villagers are going to get eaten. It'd be really helpful if, yeah, Golem, can you come give me a hand, please? Oh my god, he's just yeeting them. We're going to grab all of these so that we can go ahead and feed our cows, get those breeding. I did find a backpack on the way that has the hay modification, which basically allows me to harvest carrots and potatoes and things from grass. It's like a 15% chance, which is very, very cool. So we can use those to breed our pigs. There's a lot of water pouring from the top, so we're going to have to go ahead and do some... Oh my god. Jesus, there's also creepers falling from above. But yeah, there's a lot of water spilling in from various areas. And it also looks like this villager house is kind of formed inside the wall. So let's go ahead and get some chests so that we can empty out all of our pockets, basically. And then we can fill that in. It's very weird how it's generated. Doesn't look like there's any more houses through there. We'll go ahead and block that in so that the water drains. We'll use this as a temporary little house for us for now. There are zombies literally everywhere. Look, they've turned at least one of the villagers already. Golem, are you doing anything out here? There are so many zombies. Look, the villagers are running wild. They're terrified. That little invasion has kind of dramatically reduced our numbers of villagers, sadly. I'm going up and plugging some of these holes as well because basically the water is pouring down. I think what's happening is Endermen are going up there and moving random blocks, and because there's so much like ocean and river all generated around everywhere, it just starts pouring through the ceiling. We're going to keep on breeding our cows as often as we possibly can, and I'm also going to light up as much of the village area as I possibly can, try and reduce some of these spawns. There is this strange house in the corner which is also completely flooded, so I'm just going to see if I can stop that from pouring everywhere. This area at the back is where the bees are. I don't think it can get into its nest though. At least that's good, that's loads of wood for us. I'm going to chop these down for now. We're going to use a lot of oak for this because I'm going to try and keep the colour palette for this village rebuild as close to the normal village houses as possible. Okay, so that is the tree that the beehive was on, so we've kind of just destroyed that, but that's okay, we can sort that out later. As part of our plan of keeping the villagers safe, I'm going to go ahead and build a wall around the entire village. This is going to take some time, so we're just going to get started and add bits on as much as we can, but for now, this bottom area here is completely kind of fenced in, and we're going to go ahead and make this our kind of like starting farm area. So we're going to grow our trees here, and we're going to make sure that the bees have got plenty of flowers to live on. As part of the village transformation, we will be removing all of the old villager houses to make way for our new builds. I did go ahead and plant a new tree next to where the bee's nest was, and that's worked out really well. I do need to go ahead and strip all of this area. This is obviously part of our like boundary wall that we're going to build the whole way around, and I am going to fill that area in as well because it is really annoying having that just there, so we'll put some dirt over that at some point. This is exactly why we need our wall though. We're still getting attacked by mobs constantly, even though a lot of the area is lit up. The golem is helping us, but even so. I need to go ahead and rip down this house here because I want to build our main base in this area. So I'm going to go ahead and chop down this entire building so that we can clear the area and get ready for our main base build. I'm forever getting distracted, but I did plant our potatoes over here, and we're going to go ahead and make a small sugar farm area. Sugarcane farm, because obviously now we have the cows, we can crack on and getting an enchanting setup done. So we just need to go ahead, plant all of our sugarcane and keep breeding our cows for the leather. In this area where the bees are, I did go ahead and plant some of our spruce saplings, so we're going to go ahead and chop those down because we're going to need a lot of wood for our base build. Definitely Enderman causing our problems because there is lots of random blocks being placed, but we are finally ready to get started with our main base build. I'm going to do our framework here, and then I realized I'm going to need quite a lot of stone, so I went out into one of the random caves nearby. Well, we're in a constant cave, but one of the areas of the cave nearby, and we gathered a load of cobblestone and a load of andesite. We're going to go ahead and get that smelting so that we can use that for our base. I did also remember that I gathered some dripstone while I was out, so I'm going to use this build here just for now, and we're going to make a lava farm just here. We're going to be needing plenty of lava for all of the smelting we're going to do, not just for the main base build, but for all of the villager builds over time as well. We can use our smooth stone to make some bricks, and obviously we've got our andesite to make polished andesite, and we're going to go ahead and use that for the ground floor of our build. I'm going to use spruce for the pillars, and then we're going to do a spruce door and some trapdoors to make a kind of larger door effect. And there we go, guys. That is our like village inspired main base build. I'm super happy with how it turned out. I think it is going to be really spacious for all of the things that we're going to need to put inside it. So yeah, I'm super happy with how this turned out. Let's go ahead and get some storage chests in here. So we're going to stack these on top of each other like this, and then eventually, hopefully I'll have enough leather to be able to put some signs on. Let's get all of our workstations that we've got dotted around, and we can go ahead and put all of that into our new base. Obviously we have some of the beds from the villager houses, so we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a nice king size bed. Then we've got a little bit of a crafting station area over on this side of the build, and then we've got obviously our random storage chest in that other building, so we're just going to take everything and organize it into our new storage area. The golem has somehow managed to get stuck in with the cows, and there's also a villager stuck in with the cows, so that must be fun. I'm just leaving them there for now. It's not an issue. I'm going to go ahead and pop a ladder to be able to get up inside, because you can obviously get up from the outside, but it'll be easier to be able to just jump up and go up to our storage area quickly. And then we're making sure we're keeping on top of all of our crops and everything as well. I'm going to plant more sugarcane because obviously we want to get on with our enchanting setup. So I'm doing that to kind of speed up production. We now have a smoker as well, so we can go ahead and start with getting these potatoes cooked for us. And then I'm doing a diamond shovel, and we're going to go ahead and build a blast furnace as well, just to make life a little bit easier when it comes to smelting all of the ores we're going to need. There's a patch of land behind the base, so we're going to fill this in with a farm area. You guys know the drill. We're just making sure to keep it all hydrated. I am having a bit of issue with the lighting, so yeah, that keeps happening. So we just have to make sure that everything is lit up basically. Made a nice big patch of wheat here. We've still got a little bit of space, but I would like to do carrots eventually in one half as well. Next, I want to work on our librarian villager. So I just need a little bit of leather to craft a book. I don't really want to kill all the pigs. Ow, I managed to hit the golem. He is not happy with me. It's a bit awkward really, because you're inside the pen. I can't even get the leather. Okay, yep, okay. Okay, we're just going to jump in and we're going to grab the leather, and then hopefully we're going to be able to get out. Jesus Christ. So we can craft our book now, and then we need a bookshelf, and then we can get our lectern. The next thing we need to do is capture a villager. So I'm going to craft a bow, and we're going to try and get this guy here, and we're going to drag him over. I do need to get some leads first, so we'll just craft those very quickly. Oh no, I left him in the boat and a zombie got in there with him. Oh, I'm so sorry, mate. I'm so sorry. Well, that was a bit of a fail, but there is another one over here. So let's try and get him as our librarian. If you could just get in the boat, please, sir. Thank you. And then we're just going to have to drag him out. I might actually have to destroy most of this entrance, but that is okay because we're going to take this building down at some point anyway. Okay, there we go. And then I'm actually going to put him in the small building that we used as our starter base. And I'm just going to get him in this little 2x2 and then we can block that in. Okay, perfect. Then I'm going to use a trapdoor so that we can kind of keep him safe in there. There's more zombies and another villager got turned. Oh, I'm so sorry. We don't actually have many villagers left, so I'm going to trap him in here just in case. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, we're going to have to break out the back. Okay, that was me being dumb, but yeah, we're going to just trap him in there for now. Yeah, you stay in there, mate. So yeah, we've got one nitwit over here and then our librarian. So we do still have two. But yeah, I think that might be it now. God, the zombies have like decimated this whole village. I can see on my map there is one random villager up here though. Oh yeah, look, it spawned a house up here. Oh my god, bless him. He's kind of like pushed into the corner because of the water. Well, hopefully we can stop some of the water. But I might actually leave him in there because at least he's safe in there. And if we need to transport him at some point, we can, but at least he's safe. Yeah, look, that's so weird. Obviously, there's no villagers spawned in there. The buildings are empty. Very strange. Back in the village, I'm going to go speak to the librarian. He is trading paper for emeralds, which is exactly what we want. So we're just going to go ahead and use some of our sugarcane. We're still working on getting our enchanting set up, so I'm okay with using some of it for now. We're just going to trade with him and try and level him up, basically. I'm hoping that he gives us a decent book in future. I'm also going to block in this villager here to make sure that we keep him safe, because we're really running out of villagers now. I'm going to go ahead and use the side of our building, and we're going to set ourselves some goals. So we're going to build a villager breeder, something I've never done before, and we're also gonna figure out if we can get the trap villager back across to us if we can't get the villager breeder to work. I also need to keep working on building up the librarian trades. I did forget we do have one of the villagers stuck in the pen, and he's actually been kept safe by being in there, so that's really useful. So we have the nitwit, the librarian, the trap villager, and the one that's in the pen, so we're not completely dire, so it's okay. We're gonna be okay. I'm gonna get started on growing our carrots because that is something that we're gonna need for our villager breeder. Now I'm following a tutorial. I'm going to do my best. I'll try and leave it in the description below for you, but I am going to have to figure this out a little bit by following it step by step because this is something I've never done before. In that chest, we are gathering everything that we need. So I've just nipped out to the nearby mine and we're going to grab a load of rails because we're going to need that for part of our villager breeder. I'm looking around to see if I can find any of the powered rails as well. Excuse you. How rude. This is what I mean. There's mobs everywhere. When we venture away from our semi-safe like village area, there are mobs literally everywhere. We also need to go and gather some redstone so that we can use that for part of the villager breeder as well. Oh, diamond. Please don't blow up the diamond. Thank you. Okay, there's multiple spiders, zombies, so we're just dodging and weaving a little bit. This is, honestly, it is just nuts out here. Like, as soon as I leave my safety of my village area, it is non-stop. Oh, God. Okay. Ow. Okay. Got every type of mob. Anyone else want to join in? There's something behind me and I can't move. Oh, my God. Okay, last two skeletons. We'll just deal with these, and then I think we're safe. Okay, we've made it back home and we're going to go ahead and get started on building some more of the elements that we need for our villager breeder. So for the powered rails, we need some gold. I do have some in our... Actually, no, I don't. Okay, I thought I had some gold, but I don't. So we're going to have to head back out at some point and go and get some more gold. I'm continuing to fill the chest with the items that we need from the tutorial, and then we are making sure to plant as many carrots as possible because we're going to need a full field for the breeder. Next, I'm going to make a minecart because that is something that we need, and then I need to make a dispenser, which I've never done before, but actually really simple to make, so that's not a problem. We can go ahead and make one of those and pop that in our chest. I've just reorganized everything so that it's in the order that it is on the tutorial so that I can make sure I have everything I need. We're just going to get 2 panes of glass because that's something else we need, and some smooth stone. We need quite a lot of that, so I'm just getting that smelting as well. In between, I'm also making sure to keep upgrading our librarian's trades. I would really like him to show us what books he's going to give us. Okay, he should level up now. Yes, we've got the pink swirls. Bane of Arthropods, excellent. Love that for us. While I was out, I did find one of these spore thingies from the lush cave, so we're going to head and pop that above where our crops are. I'm hoping that that will help things grow nice and quickly. And then we do need to head back down there and try and find some gold. So that is my next mission. Okay, so there's a little bit of gold here, which is perfect. We'll grab all of this. What's that, 6 bits? Ooh, ruined nether portal. Okay, well there's big bits of gold just there. Perfect. Let's just block some of this, some of the lava in. Oh shit, I burnt a bit. Okay, well we can get another bit here out. Okay, we'll take the nuggets from there, and it does have 1 bit of obsidian in there, which is good. We are going to need a little bit more for our enchanting table, so I might as well grab that while I am here. Going to grab any gold we see as well, because we need that for our powered rails still. Heading back to base, I made sure to transform all of the nuggets and the blocks that we found into ingots, and then we're going to go ahead and grab the rails, the redstone and the gold we need for some powered rails. We only need 2, but you can only make these in 6s, so that's absolutely fine. We can just store the rest for now. I'm also making sure to continue replanting our carrots because we're going to need those for the breeder as well. Making sure that we keep breeding our cows as well, because we obviously have enough obsidian now for our enchantment table. Oh my god, that poor villager is like absolutely crushed in there. Let's see if we can get him out now. We're going to use him for the villager breeder, so maybe it's time to get him out. I'll build another bit of the pen over here, and then I'm basically going to release the cows into that other half, and hopefully that gives him a bit more breathing space. Okay, so I may have made a mistake here. I have the wheat in my hand. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Yeah, we can just pull them back in now using the wheat. Any that escaped / got in the boat might have to, you know, sacrifice their life for the cause. The villager handily went right near our base, so we're just going to go ahead and try and get him out of this boat, but he is being a little bit of a pain, and I do accidentally keep smacking him with my sword, so we'll get there eventually. We managed to get him into this little area over here, and I'm just basically going to block him in for now to make sure that he stays alive. We've gathered everything we need to build the villager breeder now, so we're going to go ahead and jump into a time lapse and get this thing built. We've done the majority of the foundation of the build. We just need to go ahead and create the area for the baby villagers to drop down into. This is where the redstone bit comes in as well. So we're going to dig a little tunnel underneath to lead basically out, and this is where the baby villagers will drop down and we'll be able to access them. Just digging out a little patch here where we can put our redstone torch, and this is where we're going to set up our minecart delivery system for the baby villagers to be kind of pushed out towards us. And go ahead and pop our minecarts in here, and then if we pop a little button on here, it does mean that we can now go ahead and press that button and a baby villager will be released for us. We do need to go and get our villager to put in the new breeder, so we're just going to grab this guy that we popped in here and we're going to use the boat and drag him over. We do obviously need 2, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the nitwit that we locked up safely in his building a little while ago. Hopefully he will get into the boat without too much arguing. Perfect. Oh, I can't get out though. Let's just chop this down. And then, yeah, we can drag him over. And what I'm going to do is basically build a little bit of a protection wall so that we can like break the boats and the villagers should go into the breeder. I do smack them a little bit, and I you know, I'm ever so sorry. It's an accident, I promise. Okay, so we've got them both in there, so we're going to quickly seal that back up. They're obviously not very happy with me right now because I did smack both of them, so we're just going to give them a minute. So one of them did take the job. Obviously the nitwit is staying a nitwit. We're going to have some babies. Maybe throw some more carrots to them. That might help. Ooh, okay, okay. We have love hearts. Okay, so that does work. Hopefully over time we'll get plenty of villagers to repopulate. We've got lots of plans for builds for all of the different workstations for villagers, so we're going to need plenty. Yeah, there we go. Amazing. Okay, well that tutorial helped no end. Obviously, like I said, I've never built a breeder before and it was so easy. Yeah, look, he's gone straight down into the chute. So I'm pretty sure now if we press the button, he should just get pulled straight up using the minecart. Ah, okay. I think I maybe put the water in the wrong place, so I'm just going to go ahead and move that to the bottom layer. Yeah, there we go. Amazing. Okay, perfect. For now, I'm just going to pop the villager baby like back in the safety of this house over here, just to make sure that there's enough space for them to keep breeding. Next, we're going to build our enchanting table because we now have everything we need to do that, and we're going to use it as an opportunity to build our first villager building. I'm going to take down those 2 buildings, but first we need to go ahead and gather a load of resources. So we're going to gather a load of stone and a load of andesite. Anytime I venture out, it's always such a treacherous journey. I really need to light up some of the commonly used areas. I mean, I have put some torches down, but they still just come out of everywhere. Okay, thank you. Everyone, please die. Oh, there's like a multiple skellies over here as well. Yeah, get dodged. Get absolutely dodged. Yeah, you guys fight each other. I'll take out this guy. I headed further down into the mines to grab some clay, and I also wanted to grab a lot of tuff because I knew I was going to need a lot of the stone for the builds that we have planned. There's also these random mossy cobble blocks around, so we're grabbing those, and I also went to the nearby lush cave to get more moss. Back at base, I went ahead and started to smelt all of our clay blocks so that we can get some terracotta, and started organising all of the materials I want for future builds. I am going to go ahead and make myself a new pickaxe and a new axe because both of them are about to break, and then we can get started on our first build. This is going to be a weaponsmith forge area, so we're going to go ahead and get started. This is obviously our first villager build as well, so I'm very excited to get started on some of these houses. I'm using slabs here to create a kind of platform, and then we're going to go ahead and fill that all in the center. I'm using some oak here just to make a very simple front kind of roof area. And then I decided that I actually wanted to make this a full block, so we're going ahead and just using the slabs to make it a full block tall. I did realise I also wanted to pull this forward a little bit as well, so we just had to take that down. Yeah, there's our axe gone. We just need to take this down and move it 1 block forward so that it's kind of, the stone area is set back a little bit. Most of the weaponsmith buildings have a kind of stone sheltered area at the front, so we've gone ahead and used some stairs and some slabs to make that overhang area. And there we go, guys. Here is our finished weaponsmith. I just need to put in a lot of the details here, but the main build is now done. We'll get the grindstone, we'll pop that in here, and then yeah, here's our kind of custom build. We need to go ahead and get our villager and pop him inside. I'm so sorry, mate. I'm so sorry. He's not happy with me. There we go, he has taken his job, which is excellent. So that is our first villager build complete. We do have another villager ready to go in the breeder, so we'll just pop him in there for our next build. I've been wanting to sort this out for ages, so we're just sorting out our farm area. So I'm planting half of it with wheat, and then we're making sure we are planting the other half with carrots, and it's all neat and organised now. I'm going to use crops that we have harvested to start trading with the farmer villager that we have in the breeder. Hopefully we can get some good food resources from him. So we're just going to grab some pumpkin pies. Next, I need to chop down this building. This is one of the old villager houses, and I'm going to put another farm in here. So this bottom section here is where we've got all of our like breeding and our crops going on. So we've got our animal pen, our farms, and our villager breeder. This pen, or this crop area over here, sorry, is going to be for our beetroots. We only have 1 beetroot seed, so we're going to get that started. A lot of our builds are obviously based off of the old kind of villager style, so we're getting a lot of oak and also spruce. I did plant a big tree area out the back here where the bee area is, and I did also take some saplings and create an area down. It's kind of a little bit away from the base, and we're just putting the 4x4, not 4x4, the 2x2 spruce trees down here, and they're not ruining any of our area because they are far enough away from our main base. I'm going to build a bridge from the area where I've planted the spruce trees up to our village area. It's getting really annoying getting down there to chop down these spruce trees, so we've just gone ahead and created this lovely bridge that takes us straight down there and makes life a lot easier. We now have all of our bookshelves ready for building our enchanting area, so this means we can go ahead and get started on our second villager build, which we're going to use for our enchanting area. Just going to pop our enchantment table in the middle, and then we are going to place our bookshelves around the outside. For our pickaxe, we got Silk Touch, Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 3. For our axe, we got Fortune 3, Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 3. And for our shovel, we got Silk Touch, Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 3. An incredible set of first enchantments. I went ahead and finished off our enchanting building, and it is very cute. I'm really happy with how it turned out. We just need to go ahead and get one of our villagers so that they can move in. I'm going to use a brewing stand. There was actually one at the other end of the village, so we're going to use that, and that can be where our cleric villager lives. I think that's suits the vibe perfectly. I did pop a villager in a boat and an enderman has joined him and he's just standing above him, and that must have been absolutely terrifying for the villager. If that was me, I would have been having a constant panic attack. The next build I want to get started on is the stonemason, and now that we have Silk Touch on our pickaxe, I'm going to go and grab some ores because I think that would look super cool in their like stonemason build. So we're grabbing some diamonds, some redstone and some iron, and also some gold to decorate the area with. Obviously we also have Silk Touch on our pickaxe, on our shovel, so that does mean that we can grab things like grass blocks as well. There's a chicken jockey here, guys. Oh my god. Okay, let me see if I can pillar up and I can try and get him. If we kill all the other zombies, we might be able to kill the baby zombie and not the chicken. Oh my god. Oh my god, we managed it. Okay, let's try and get him on a lead. We're so far away from base right now. This is going to be a nightmare. There's going to be mobs everywhere as well. Okay, I'm going to do my best because having a chicken would be so cool. Come on, little guy. Oh my god, there's zombies and skeletons everywhere. There's creepers. Oh my god, the chicken. I hit the chicken. Okay, he's fine, he's fine. What an absolute nightmare. Please die. Okay, chicken is fine. Chicken is fine. We are not fine. Let's just have something to eat very quickly. Okay, chicken is still surviving. Oh, this is crazy. We're getting attacked. Again, this is like left, right and center, and I'm trying to keep this chicken alive. Okay, he's good. He's good. We're getting there slowly but surely. We're right near the water that takes us up to where our base is. Can't hear the chicken anymore though, which is concerning, and he's not behind me. Oh no. I don't know what happened. Maybe he drowned? Oh, that's so sad. We would have had a chicken. I'm heartbroken. Ooh, that skeleton has a cool looking backpack on. Please drop it when I kill you. Oh, he did drop it. I think that's an emerald backpack. That's really cool. Yeah, what is the special ability for... Oh, +1 luck. I have no idea what luck actually means, but that's okay. We don't need the crops anymore, so we can swap over now. Whilst we got really good enchantments on our original pickaxe, I would like to try again for Fortune 3. So let's see what we can get. We've got Efficiency 4. Unbreaking 3. Okay, so we didn't get the fortune that time. That's not a problem. I'm going to head back out. I'm going to do a little bit more exploring. There's a few bits I want to go and grab for decorating. So we're going to use our Silk Touch pickaxe to grab some of the crystals from the amethyst geode. And then we're also going to grab things like terracotta, more jungle wood, just in case I want to add some jungle details. And then we're also going to keep looking around because I'd really like to get a axolotl pond created. In most of my builds, I do like to do an axolotl pond. So we're just going to grab a couple of axolotls from the nearby lush cave. There is a lot of lush cave down here. I think because of the way obviously it's a cave only world, there are huge areas of lush cave. I've spotted some bamboo up here. I'm just having to fight my way over to it, but I really would like some bamboo. I think it would look really cute to grow around the base. So I'm just coming over here and I'm going to grab quite a bit of this. I also recently found that obviously using your sword is like using a machete. That obviously makes so much sense, but it never clicked to me. I was always using my axe before. Another little project I've been working on is this farm area through the gates here where the bees are. I want to get this set up eventually as a cute little farm area. So we now have our farmer villager in here, which is perfect, but there is still quite a bit of work I need to do. I'm planting some pumpkins around here because this tiny little edge is acacia biome. So it's actually slightly more like muted colors. So I think the pumpkins will look really cute. I've just been gathering some stone because the next thing I do want to sort out is our farm area. I'd really like to replace this fence with a stone kind of, I don't know what you would call it, like a stone shelter for the animals. I just think that will fit the vibe of what we're doing so much more. So I'm going to tear down this fence and we're going to replace it with a combination of andesite, tuff and these stone bricks. Also maybe pop in a little bit of the mossy cobble, and there we go guys, we've got a finished like more rustic looking farm area, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. Our villager breeder is getting a little bit overcrowded, so I am just going to start releasing some of the villagers. It's not like we need to worry too much anymore because we've got plenty and the breeder is going to keep pumping them out. So yeah, we're just going to release a few of them and let them start wandering around a little bit more. Next build I've got planned is the stonecutter building. So we're going to take this building down and then we're going to jump into a quick time lapse of me pulling together this stonecutter build. Here's our completed stonecutter build. I'm really happy with how this turned out. We're going to go ahead and add some of the glowing ores that we found now that we have our silk touch pickaxe, and I think it adds a really cool bit of interest to the stonecutter build. We're going to let the villager go over and accept his new job as the villager stonecutter. The next area I want to tackle is this corner here. It is where I've kind of got in mind to build some form of portal and an axolotl pond. We've got a few floods going on, so I do need to go up and take care of these. Like I mentioned, the endermen are still taking blocks and causing random floods, so we just got to go up there and deal with that one, and then we can go ahead and sort out the building that is kind of half built into the wall. There we go, we've got all of the water drained away, which is perfect. But then yeah, the build is kind of like halfway within this wall, and there's actually another house through here as well. I'm just going to grab some doors and we're going to have a little explore. I don't think there's any villages in there because they're so flooded, but there is a chest in here. Okay, a couple of bits of leather, nothing too exciting. A couple of cauldrons here, which we might grab at some point, and then there is another building. There's two more buildings over here. Wow, that's so sad. We would have had 2 extra villagers. Okay, we're just going to grab the bed because you can't say no to a free bed. Don't think there's anything else really worth looking at. We'll take the bed from both of them. And then we can head back out. It's kind of weird, but this is the back end of where the village is, where they've kind of formed in the wall. For our portal build, we do need to head out and grab some more obsidian, so there is that portal nearby, so I grabbed all of the obsidian from there, and we do need to just clear this area out before we can get started on our portal axolotl pond build. I'm going to build the portal in this back corner here. I want it to be quite tall, so we actually don't have enough obsidian, so I'm going to have to head back out and grab some from a nearby lava lake. Okay, perfect. So we now have enough to fill in the portal. We're just going to get that switched on. I think that's going to look really cool. And then we're going to go all around the edge of the portal. I'm using cobble and some of the cracked bricks that we've found. I'm not sure if that's going to be dark enough. I might go a bit darker with some of the stone. And then we're also going to add some of the ores in that we have come across. I think that'll help having that glow there. It'll look really cool. Next, we just need to dig out the area for the pond. We're going to go quite deep with this because there's quite a lot of detail I want to put in the floor of the pond. Again, I'm just using some basalt and some deep slate just to add some variation to the bottom of the pond here. So I've gone ahead and put in a little waterfall, and we've added in a lot of detail into the floor area of the pond. I just want to go in and add some leaves, some glowberries and some moss into the floor as well. Just make it as lush as we possibly can do. Okay, so we're kind of there now. I've added a load of the amethyst crystals in as well and replaced all of the stone with the darker varieties, and I think it looks really cool. I'm going to add our axolotls into the pond as well, and then obviously the golem wanted to go in there as well. Of course he did. Over time as well, the vines will grow and give it a more hidden, overgrown appearance. I made a new sword because I wanted to get an enchantment on it, and we got a sharpness 4, so not too bad, although it would have been nice to get looting. And then we're going to put protection 3 on our chest plate, which we also got unbreaking 3 on as well. Our villager breeder is getting very overpopulated, so we're just going to pump out a load of these villagers and set them free so that they can wander around the village, and then as we get new job blocks for them, they should go and find their new homes. I did a little bit of work on our librarian area, and we just need to go ahead and get this second guy into his slot. He is being very naughty and won't listen to me about going around the side. So I'm going to get him in a boat, and we're just going to drive him in and block him in this way, basically. Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry. Okay, there we go. We'll just block him in, and then we can break the boat and put the lectern in front of him. It just would be good to give us an option of getting some more books. I'd really like mending on at least our pickaxes. That would be good. The next mission that I want to get started on is to build a fishing area and a hut for another one of our villagers. And I also really want to build a big dining area for some of the cook villagers so that we can have this central kind of hub area to the village. Now that we've obviously got all of our enchantments set up and everything sorted, I'm going to use the area where our previous sugarcane farm was, as we already have quite a lot of water there, and we can use that for the basis for our fishing area. I'm making sure to dig a deep enough pond that we'll be able to fish in it as well, so I think you need at least a 5x5 area to be able to fish. So we've gone ahead and dug that out, and I've tried to make it look as natural as possible. The next step is to build the fishing hut, and we're going to try and do this as close to the water as we possibly can do. This is going to be a relatively simple build, just somewhere to house some barrels, make a little setup for the fisherman villager to kind of live in. For this build, I'm using spruce for the pillars, and I'm using some dark oak as well. I really want to incorporate a little bit of dark oak into the build. It's fast becoming one of my favorite woods to build with. I'm using some spruce for the roof just to make it a little bit kind of contrasting against that dark oak. I'm going to fence this area in because I would like to keep the villager over here, and we are going to build a little dock out into the water. There we go, this is our finished fisherman area. I'm super happy with it. I think it serves the purpose perfectly. We've got a little dock area, and I even managed to get some cod from a nearby ocean in my bucket and brought them over here. So I think this is really cute. We just need to go and get some of our villagers so that they can become our new fishermen. There we go, he's accepted his new job as our fisherman. I managed to get protection 4 on our leggings. There wasn't anything for the boots I really wanted, but I did manage to get protection 4 on our helmet as well. So our armor is starting to get enchanted as well. While I was out on my travels, I did come across the entrance to a trial chamber, and I'm feeling a lot more confident with dealing with these. So we're going to go down and see if we can find any decent loot. I would really love to make a mace at some point, but I think you need to have the bad omen potion for that. But we're just going to go down and see what we can find. Okay, some sticks and some arrows, nothing too exciting. We did get a skeleton spawner for our first room, which isn't so bad. I can kind of handle the skeletons. I've had worse. Again, I didn't bring a shield with me, which, you know me, we just go for it. Okay, so we've got another spawner here. Okay, more skeletons, that's fine. I think that's a double spawner though, so that might be a few more. Where did he go? Oh my god. Oh, okay, zombies as well. It's not a problem, we can deal with everyone. Yeah, we're just going to jump down here. I think some of the skellies are down here. Yeah, there must be zombie spawner as well. There's quite a few zombies too. Okay, so we got another key from that one, and we got a potion from there. I am using the backpack just to organise a little bit. We're getting some candles, got some diamonds, wind charges, a little bit of iron, not too bad. The next spawner we've come across is a lime jello. Why can't I think of what they're called? Slime. A little slime spawner. I'm just going to kind of hover above and take them out basically. Well, they're very squelchy, aren't they? And then we're just going to jump down to take out the final few. We hit level 30 again. So we're going to pop one of the keys in here. What have we got? Some honey, some arrows, and an iron axe. Okay, nothing too exciting. Yeah, efficiency 1. Ooh, I got a diamond block. That's so cool. I checked into it and it's a 0.03% chance that you get the full diamond block, so I'm very happy with that. Okay, down in this room we've got some wind charges, and I figured out how to deal with those guys. You just need to jump over the little tornado they send at you. Yeah, we didn't get anything else too exciting, so I've headed back to base and we're just going to empty out everything that we found. Again, I think you need to do that with the ominous potion to get the full benefits from that. Yeah, we got some diamonds, we got a lot of bones, some, some useful things. Because of it being in a completely cave-only world, I've realised I'm not sleeping very often because I don't know when it's nighttime, and Joe suggested making a clock so that I can sleep. Obviously it extends the time massively if you're not sleeping, so I went ahead and crafted one of those. The next thing we're going to do is get cracking on with building our tavern food area. It's going to be a big hall in the middle of the village. I'm just using some stripped oak to create the framework. And then we're going to go ahead and use a lot of mossy cobble and these stone bricks and create these kind of archways for each of the front parts of the building. I think that'll add a really interesting texture to the front of the build. Okay, I'm liking that so far. I think that does look pretty cool. I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate that along the sides and the back as well. Excuse me, Mr. Villager. I'm actually trying to build a house here, if you could move. Unbelievable. So yeah, I'm going to make those maybe all the way to the floor like that. Yeah, I think that looks really cool for a window. And then we're going to use oak along the front to make the roof, but it does now mean you can't see the archways. Maybe we'll bring the archways down one level. How does that look? Yeah, okay, that looks good. And then I'm going to use spruce for the roof. Again, we're doing a lot of similar types of builds because I want the village to seem really cohesive. So we've got the main framework done. I'm going to go ahead and add some of the details inside. We're going to need quite a lot of barrels for this because I want to create a big kitchen area with multiple smokers so that we kind of have a lot of villagers in here. Obviously having the barrels as well will get us some fisherman villagers. I think altogether that will really help to make this like the hub of the village. Just doing some tweaks, and we're going to basically replicate what we've done on this left hand side over on this right hand side. And here we are. I've finished completely doing the interior of this build. I'm super happy with it. I think it looks like a village kind of tavern, the centerpiece of the village. I'm going to go and release a load of villagers from the breeder so that they can come in and take their job blocks, and we can build this kind of thriving community hub here. There we go. Everyone's taken their jobs. I'm so happy with how this build turned out. Something I've been meaning to look into is the backpack mod that I have installed. Obviously we got the emerald backpack, but you can actually upgrade it so the actual base level of it is higher. So I'm just crafting some of these blank upgrades. We can also add some kind of cool upgrades to the backpack itself. So we're going to create a crafting table one. So basically we can craft directly from our backpack, which is really cool. So we can just add it into the slot here. So I also want to upgrade the actual base of the backpack, if that makes sense. So even though it's going to stay emerald, but it's like the tier of backpack, it's a little bit complicated, but we're just going to go ahead and upgrade our backpack to the highest level to get as many slots as possible. We do need to work our way through, so you can't just jump straight to the diamond one. We have to do all of the ones in between. So you have to do an iron one, then we have to do a gold one, and then we're able to do the diamond one. So you can see we just use the smithing table, add that on, and it's already given us a lot more slots, and we can add more upgrades to it as well. There we go, we'll add our gold one on, and then we can add our diamond. That gives us a really huge backpack full of all of those inventory slots, and we can add more of the crafting, or more of the upgrades, sorry, as well. The one that I'm going to do is the feeding upgrade, and I also added a blast furnace one so we can smelt, craft, and auto feed ourselves from our backpack. All of those features really useful and really cool. I definitely recommend, if you want a like cool backpack mod, to give this one a try. I did also off camera build a little bit of a base build around the villager breeder just to stop it looking like such an eyesore and help it blend into the village. I did also do a pathway the whole way through the village, so we now have a stone pathway. The next thing we're going to work on is what was on the other side of the fenced off area. Now this is where the original farmer village was, and also the like brewing station build. So I've gone ahead and cleared out all of the sand and replaced it with grass. First thing we're going to work on this other half of the village is a double building for an armourer and a toolsmith, because I think those two professions go really well together. To begin with, we're going to build out a stone platform, and then I'm going to use some oak logs to create the framework for this build. I did originally start off with some stairs on the side, but I'm not 100% sure whether they're going to stay. I'm using spruce for the roof, again following that same colour palette that we've used for a lot of the builds. I did decide that the stairs here wouldn't work, so I've taken them down for now, and maybe we'll see if we can pop a second floor in at a later date. I did extend this building out quite a bit because I wanted to make sure we had enough space. But here we go, here is our finished toolsmith and armourer build. I'm super happy with how this turned out. I think it looks exactly like what I was hoping it was going to, and I'm very happy with how it fits into our cozy village. Our villagers are very happy and have moved straight into their new jobs already. The next build I want to transform is the previous brewing stand building. I don't know what it's actually called, the cleric building. We're going to rip it down because I want to use it as a foundation for a fully functioning lava farm. We have one set up in there, and it's just kind of been abandoned and shoved in there because I needed it to be there so that I could use it for smelting. But we're going to go ahead and extend this and make a really beautiful glass lava farm. I've torn down all of the building, and then we're replacing the floor with cobble and mossy cobble, and then I'm just going to pop in some oak pillars. And then we're going to duplicate what we've done, but we're going to add 2 more of the cauldrons and 2 more of the like lava farm sections. So we'll just pop some more glass in, pop the dripstone in, and then we can add our lava in and start getting a little bit more lava production going on. Like I mentioned, I'm going to use a lot of glass for this build because I think it would be really cool to be able to see the lava. And there we go, here is our finished lava farm. I'm super happy with how it turned out. I think it looks really striking with having the lava pouring through like that, and just a very simple build around it. I love it so much. Oh no, our golem has got stuck in the pond and he cannot get out. A piglin came through. Golem is not sure about him. He dropped down into the pond. Are they harmless? He doesn't seem to be too interested in fighting me. Maybe he heard how cool our village transformation was and wanted to come and have a look. Well, he is definitely wandering around. Well, he better not hurt anyone. I will pull the golem out of the water though, that's probably useful to have him on defense. The next building I want to get started on in this gap here is a shepherd's hut. So we're going to use the oak again and we're going to build a kind of open plan shepherd's hut. I really want to be able to get some wool because we have no sheep. There's not been any sheep anywhere, I haven't come across any, and obviously there wasn't any in the original starter pen. So we're just going to create a shepherd's hut so that we can get wool that way. I did go for a diorite floor and we are using the oak and spruce again, a little bit of that combo to create this open plan area. I'm using some stairs to make some archways, and I think they'll add a little bit of detail to the front part of the build. We've got a couple of villagers here. An extra one managed to get picked up by the boat, but we have gone ahead and brought him over and we now have our first shepherd. I'm going to go ahead and trade a load of emeralds with him for shears. We now have a ridiculous amount of shears that we don't need, but so we can level him up and start getting some better wool options. I do want to grab some of the wool from him because I would like to create some banners to hang up to signify the fact that it is a shepherd's building. I'm very happy with that. I think it looks really cool. I did go ahead and add some details into the center of the village. So we now have this well area and we do have this crystal pile. I had the idea that these villagers were kind of like gem merchants and that was what the village was there for. They were there to mine out all of the gems, so we added some of those for a little bit of detail. This build that I'm working on now is going to be our cartography area, and I wanted to make it kind of like a cylinder building. This took a little bit of figuring out, but I'm super happy with how it turned out in the end. I think it is a really unique looking build. We'll just drag some villagers across so that they can become our new cartographers, and I just think it is a really cool addition down this other end of the village. No, not that way. Come this way. There's so many villagers now, by the way. I'm just releasing them all the time. We have so many workstations, like, it's fine. But we do have some cartographers. They are there. There we go. Perfect. I do need to finish this wall off as well because we are still getting some mobs getting in and I would really like to finish this off. Obviously it's day 85. I would really like to get this whole area finished and walled in. Okay, so we've now completed the wall. I would like to add something on this side here just to fill in that gap. It's nearly day 90, so I decided to head out on a little bit of an expedition, see if there was anything else that I could find to add to our village. I did come across this extremely cool dripstone cave that also led into a very small amount of pale garden, so we are going to grab some. I don't know if I'll have anywhere to use it, but we might as well take it. Didn't come without its normal array of mobs, and I nearly fell down into a lava pit, ran off straight into a spider spawner. Not a spider, a skeleton spawner. So yeah, it's all going on as per usual whenever we leave the safety of our village. What have you got in here? Okay, some bones, some leather. Basic stuff at this point, guys, basic stuff. Horse armor. Well, I've definitely not seen a single horse. We do have a name tag, so I might use that at some point. And of course, a baby zombie. Why wouldn't there be? I'm also going to grab some of the tropical fish because I would really like to breed up our axolotls when we get back to base. After running back, I made sure to go straight to our axolotl pond and breed our axolotls. We got a cute little gold baby axolotl. They are just so precious. One of the final bits I want to do in this area here is build a proper farmer's hut. I completely forgot I did add this mine treasure mod on as well because I'm using it for one of my other videos that I've been working on and didn't take it off. So we had this for a couple of days. It did give us an egg, so I'm really hopeful we might actually get some chickens. No, okay. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and dig out all of this area here so that we can replace it with dirt and build a lovely farmer's hut out in this back garden area we have here. I did find 2 more eggs while I was digging that area out, but still no chickens, which is a bit sad. I'm going to use some spruce to build up some pillars for our little farmer's hut, and then I'm going to use dark oak to build out the roof, and we're going to do quite a low roof because I want it to be a kind of cute cozy hut that's quite low to the ground, more like a cottage. And there we go, I've got our complete little farmer's area here. It's very bare on the inside. I'm running out of time, guys, okay? But we did do a little bit of decoration on the front and I finished off some of this farm area. We put some more of the pumpkins and the wheat in and a little bit of sugarcane. I think it looked really cute when we'd finished. For our final mission on day 99, I would really like to tame one of the cats that has been going around in the village, and I think this one here would like to be our friend. Or maybe not. Okay, yes it would. But yeah, this one is so cute. I've never really seen these ones with the yellow eyes. Like, I have seen them a couple of times, but they're quite rare for me to see them at least. So I'm very glad that this one wanted to be our friend. And there we go. We're having our final sleep of our 100 days. And there we go, guys. We have made it to day 100 in our village transformation in our cave-only world. I'm really happy with how this whole build turned out, apart from the creepy villager in our base. But we've got so many cool builds here. Some of these really unique villager builds that I am absolutely obsessed with. We've got our librarians, we've got our fishing area, which I think is really beautiful. I'm obsessed with the farmer area as well. It feels really lush and cozy in here. I love the colors, having a little bit of that kind of acacia biome, making some of that a little bit more yellow and muted. And then we've got our village centerpiece where we've got all of our gems. I'm just super happy with how all of these different builds turned out and how they all meld together to create this really cozy village. Our vines have finally grown in quite a lot and made this portal really disappear into the background, so when you step back you almost can't see it's there at all, which is exactly what I was hoping for. We can say one last hello and goodbye to our cows and our pigs that we've got in our lovely little pen that we built. And then obviously we did our huge villager breeder, which was a really cool experience for me, getting to understand that. We don't talk about what's going on down there right now, but it was really cool for me to learn how to build this, and I'll definitely be doing it again in future. And then this tavern, which was really one of my favorite things to build and pull together, and it became the hub of the village. So many of the villagers gathered here on a daily basis to spend time together, and I'm just obsessed with how it ended up looking. Of course, we can't forget our cleric, who is looking after our enchanting setup. Moving on down to this end of the village, I love the weaponsmith area that we built. It's one of my favorite builds that I did. I think it's something that really adds to the vibe down this end of the village. And then this cartography area as well, super cool, very challenging for me. It was a new type of build, but I'm very happy with it. And also, of course, our shepherds area, where we finally got some wool after however many days of not having any sheep around. I did end up adding a little bit of a potato patch down this bottom end to fill in this gap. Finally, we have our lava farm area, which I'm absolutely in love with. I think this is so cool. I do have some vanilla tweaks on which has changed the glass effect here, and I actually think it looked much better like that, so I'm very pleased with that. There we go, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and especially if you made it all the way to the end. I want to thank my YouTube members. Extra huge thank you to you guys. You guys make my day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss my next video, and I will catch you in the next one.